Hey, what's going on, my boys? Welcome back to the channel. Your boy CGOD. And today we're going to be doing a little bit more work to the truck. Small little couple of updates. As you guys seen previously, we got the shocks done. So there's them. Real cool. I did go ahead and I pulled the fuel pump assembly out of the original tank, and I got it mocked up here in our fuel cell. So that's cool. We are going to be running new fuel lines, but before we do that, we're going to be doing a little bit of wiring here, boys. So there, as you can see, I got 4-gauge wire that I'm going to run from the battery all the way to the back, which will pretty much feed power to our EVS 7 switch box there. And we also got a bunch of 16-gauge wire because we're going to be wiring up our pneumatic valves here. So for this, as you can see, this one here, maybe. Either way, this is going to be either power or ground on either one of these. So what we're going to be doing is like daisy chaining the ground, and then it'll just come over here to the frame. So this is essentially where it'll ground out at. And we're going to have to run individual power lines and pretty much like make our own harness to run from here along the frame inside the cab to where we'll have these quick connects on the controller itself. And the controller itself also did come with the male ends of these, so we should be able to connect everything up no problem. And for that harness, we got this wire loom here. We also got a bunch of these connectors, as these are what we're going to use to connect to the valves. And with the 4-gauge wire, I actually had like from an old sound system, this, let me see, 200 amp fuse holder and fuse. So we're gonna run this off of the battery. That way our wire is protected in case anything were to happen, you know? And that's gonna run along the driver's side of the frame over here to where I'll have kind of like a little power bank type deal, because it'll be running power over to the controller to be able to use the valves as well as to the compressor. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started now by, first I'm gonna make the ground wire. After the ground wire is made, then I'm going to begin making the harness for our 7 switch box here. And that's pretty much going to run underneath somehow. And then I'm going to run it into the cab. But for the fuel pump situation here, this tank did accept the original sending unit, so that's dope. But I am going to buy like a new little like fuel filter and pump before I finalize that. And yeah, boys, so let me go ahead and get started up on it. I'll bring y'all right back, all right? All right, my boys, so quick little update for you guys. I finished up the daisy chain for the ground. So this is pretty much what this looks like. As you could see, kind of hard to see, but pretty much we daisy chained it from there over to this valve down there, that one, this one, this one, this one, and then it'll come down to this, which will then get bolted, as you can see probably right there. Boom. So that's our ground finished up right there. Now on these valves, it doesn't matter exactly which prong you put it on, as long as you have a ground and then a 12-volt positive going to the other side. So from here, I'm going to go ahead, I got 130 foot of wire, so I'm going to go ahead and like divide that up, because we're going to have like 8 wires for the individual valves. And then I need another wire for the 12-volt that's going to feed the controller. So we're going to divide it amongst that and start getting all that ready. Once the wires are completed, then the next step would be to like run them into the cab somehow. And like I said, this would just be kind of like a quick connect. And I actually thought the harness for the controller was going to be longer, but it's really not that long. So I'll probably have all the connections kind of like underneath the center console or something. That way it's got easy access, because it does have a fused connection. So that is that. And it's only like a little 5 amp or something. So yeah, we're going to have to run power to that, and it'll all connect inside the truck. But first, we'll probably have to like get the truck up in the air and see where I can insert these wires. Unless I just like make a little hole in the back of the cab there, but then I need like a little grommet. But either way, that's kind of what we're going to do next before we start running the power for the compressor and the valves. So essentially that's just going to run, and we'll be able to hook everything up over on the driver's side of the frame. So let me get started up on that, boys, and I'll bring y'all back. All right, boy. All right, guys, so we're back again working on this Silverado. Right now we have all this wiring chaos. So pretty much I like scientifically measured out how long each wire needs to be per valve. So we have 8 wires. As you can see, each valve now has the 2 connections. So I'm waiting on like a number book because I want to be able to number the wires so I know exactly which one they go before we make like the actual harness that goes in. But and then I also have this other power wire because it's going to be 8 valve control, and then I'll have one which would be a 12-volt positive running to the controller itself. So we left that one a little bit long. Probably going to tie it in with the pressure switch so it'll just have power all the time. But other than that, I did get some goodies in the mail. So as you can see here, if you don't know what that is a 6x5.5 wire wheel adapter. That way we can be able to run these bad girls on this truck. Now these are 100 spoke 13x7s. The issue I'm having right now, I kind of mocked it up and our studs are too long. So as you can see, they're actually not threaded entirely. So we're gonna cut off, you know, about 1/2 inch and see if our wheels are able to fit. Now, I know it doesn't really make sense, but I think it would look sick. And in the front, since they have like pretty much like very minimal back spacing, we should be able to clear the brakes using this 2-inch spacer here in the front. And assuming we can get the back to fit nice without a spacer on this drum, then with the front, after we install that that front kit that we have there, which is actually from what the heck? It's from Stone Fab, and it's supposed to narrow 2 inches. So if we get that narrowed 2 inches in the front and we run our 2-inch spacer to clear our brakes, then we should be golden, boys, and have 13s on all 4 corners, like evenly spaced out. Because I'm trying to take like a different direction on this truck, seeing as how I've taken so long to get where I'm at. I've been itching to build a lowrider, which is like taking up most of like my mental time, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna lump them together and kind of start low riding this truck. Essentially, it'll help with how fast we get this project completed, because from here, after we have the air valves functioning, we have air in the tank, all that good stuff, fuel system is complete, and we have a running truck again, then to be able to bag the truck on these little tires in the front should be no issue at all. We probably won't even have to tub or anything. So I'm just trying to move the project along. I don't think the front will really take that long, honestly, just to install the front kit. But if we were to run bigger tires, then we'd have to do a lot of relocation, a whole bunch of stuff underneath the hood. So we're trying to avoid that for now. Once the truck is complete, running and driving and out of my damn garage, then we'll see where we go from there. You know, because I mean, originally the plan was to run 26s, but seeing as how I don't really want to narrow the rear right now and do all the work for that, I don't even know if I'm going to body it still, just for the fact that like I'm kind of like, I don't want to say burnt out, but I kind of like lost motivation. So I really would like to get back into it, get it complete. Once I got it running and driving and everything, and I decide, you know, I'll go big wheels and body it and tub it out and everything once it's running and driving and I have like that drive again to want to do it. But for now, this is what we're going to try to do. So let me try to cut these studs, see if we can get this wheel fitted, and I'll bring you right back. Alright, boys, now I don't know what the hell we done got into, but like I had said, we cut off just about a 1/2 inch. This is it here. Maybe y'all be able to see it. Yeah, like I said, we didn't cut off too much. However, we got the wheels fitted. It now interlocks with the adapter and the wheel. Got the knockoff put on. I did jack it up. This is as high as it goes with the shocks maxed out. I don't know if that'll be high enough. I mean, it is on jack stands right now, but I mean, underneath the wheel, as you can see, there's quite a bit of room to go down. So I mean, I don't really know. Like I said, this was being built for big wheels, and the overall diameter of these tires is like 22.8 inches. So even from the stock wheels that we have on it, this is like a 265/65/18 there. And this is about 8.8 inches smaller. So in actual like lowness, it dropped it 4.4 inches going from these to those stocks. So will it work, boys, or will it not work? That is the question. They do look like they will stick out just a little bit, but I mean, I'm assuming they're so small they're not even gonna reach the top of the wheel well. So I think that will be okay. If we do decide to body later on, then maybe we'll have to think about doing something. But for now, boys, this is where we're at. Next step, I'm gonna be sorting out what's needed for the fuel. Gonna put a new fuel pump, stuff like that. So I'm gonna make like a big like shopping list pretty much, and then head over and get some supplies. But this is where we're at now. So yeah, all we gotta do is just complete the rest of this stuff and we should be rolling. I kind of do need to finish that other side, cutting the studs so we can put the wheels on. And I'd like to set it down on the floor just to get an idea of what the height is, like maxed. I mean, I know it doesn't have a bed or nothing, but just to be able to see. So I'll probably do that, and then I'll bring y'all back. Alright guys, so we have the 13s on the truck, and we have encountered our first issue. So first off, it doesn't go very high. We are maxing out the shocks. So, I mean, we could take the shocks off to gain more height, but another main issue that we're having is our lower arm clearance here. See if I can get a shot for you guys of this. So, yeah. And then as we air it out, the arms here hit well before anything else. So, let me show you guys. And that's it right there, boys. We are laying all the way down. As you can see, it lays the arm before anything else, brothers. The arm, and it like touches the bolt head of the bag right there. I mean, I guess we do have a good bit of height travel. You know, it's a few inches at least. But I believe it's because the truck right now is sitting on like 5-inch cut springs and the stock tires, but if anything that would help it. But I believe it would kind of work, assuming we could get the front of the truck higher. But who knows? The 13-inch dream isn't dead yet, boys, but for now it kind of is. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do that rest of the electronic stuff. And yeah, so right here, that's the rear laid out. So you can see that 13 back there. Oof. And this is where the truck sits now, all cluttered. So we don't got very much travel, like I said. And this is like dangerously low. I'm pretty sure it would be like, that being the first thing to scrape is not a good thing. So, who knows? Might have to go bigger. Probably not 13s. I do want to throw them on the truck once it's bagged though, just to see what it looks like, because I think it'd be wicked. But for now, boys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Try to get you guys another video on the truck next week, and hopefully we have a juking system. Once we get the fuel, the air, and the power, we should be good, boys. So hopefully next week, or in like a couple weeks probably, because you know I'm lazy. hopefully have this thing up and running, be able to drive it around, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. This is your boy CGOD, and I'm checking OUT.